The clinic doors burst open, and the newest patient immediately grabs everyone's attention. This time, the fruit is holding its stomach and complaining that something feels incredibly strange. The doctor tries to examine it, but the patient keeps jumping away every time the equipment comes near. Finally, after a hilarious chase around the examination room, the medical team manages to get the patient onto the table. The doctor listens carefully and suddenly looks completely shocked. Whatever is happening inside is definitely not normal. The surgeon quickly calls for the biggest medical tools in the clinic, while the other fruits gather around to watch the operation. The procedure begins, and everyone waits nervously as the doctor carefully checks inside. Suddenly, a tiny movement catches everyone's attention. Something is hiding in there. The doctor reaches in and pulls out a tiny baby fruit, and the entire room erupts in surprise. But then another one appears, and another. The patient can't believe it, and the doctor is completely speechless. What started as a terrifying emergency has turned into another unbelievable fruit family surprise. The newborns are wrapped up and placed together on a soft blanket while the proud parent watches with the biggest smile. The clinic fills with laughter and celebration. But then the emergency alarm starts ringing once again. Everyone turns toward the entrance, and a terrified little vegetable comes running inside, shouting that it needs help immediately. The doctor takes a deep breath and looks at the exhausted medical team. All right, who's ready for the next emergency? And judging by the look on everyone's faces, this next case is going to be completely insane. The vegetable rushes into the clinic completely out of breath, begging the doctor to help before things get even worse. The doctor immediately starts the examination, but the vegetable keeps insisting that something is seriously wrong. The medical team checks every possible clue, and suddenly the doctor notices a strange bump moving across the patient's body. Everyone steps back in shock as the bump slowly gets bigger. The surgeon grabs the medical tools and prepares for another emergency operation. The patient nervously closes its eyes while the entire room goes silent. Then the doctor makes the first careful move and suddenly something tiny shoots out. Everyone screams, but the doctor quickly catches it before it can escape. It turns out to be a tiny baby vegetable hiding inside. The patient stares in disbelief, while the medical team discovers that there may be even more surprises waiting inside. One by one, several tiny vegetables appear, turning the emergency room into a full-blown nursery. The doctor wraps the exhausted parent in a fresh bandage and places all the newborns together on a soft blanket. The little family immediately starts celebrating, and even the grumpy fruit from earlier can't stop smiling.
The mysterious patient slowly points toward its stomach, and the doctor immediately realizes this case is completely different from anything they've seen before. The medical team gathers around as the patient explains that the strange movement has been getting stronger and stronger. The doctor places a giant stethoscope against the stomach and suddenly hears a loud rumbling sound. Everyone freezes. Then comes another rumble. And another. The patient starts panicking, but the doctor confidently announces that they're going to find the problem. The operating room is prepared in seconds, and the exhausted medical team gets back to work. As the procedure begins, the doctor carefully examines what's happening inside, but suddenly a tiny object flies out of nowhere and lands right on the surgeon's head. Everyone bursts into laughter, but the doctor quickly gets serious again. After a closer look, they finally discover the strange source of the movement. It's not an ordinary problem at all. Something unexpected has been hiding inside the patient. The doctor carefully removes it, and the entire room erupts in celebration when the patient immediately feels better. But then the tiny discovery starts moving on its own, causing everyone to chase it around the clinic. Nurses run after it, fruits hide behind the medical table, and the doctor tries desperately to catch it before it disappears. Finally, one clever little fruit blocks its escape, and the team manages to catch it safely. Everyone celebrates another successful rescue, but the doctor suddenly notices something even more shocking on the examination screen. There's another patient waiting outside, and this time, the emergency could be bigger than anything they've handled before.
The next patient finally enters the clinic, and the entire medical team immediately realizes this is no ordinary emergency. The nervous fruit can barely explain that's happening before another strange sound comes from the inside its stomach. The doctor quickly brings over the examination equipment, start checking every possible clue. At first, everything looks completely normal until the monitor suddenly shows something moving. Everyone stares at the screen is disbelievable as the mysterious shape starts getting bigger and bigger. The patient panics and begs the doctor to do something.